But just showing respect to Reverend Jesse Jackson, who left us last week, 84 years old, a legendary political figure. If you like my Facebook page, everybody on my Facebook page has a picture of them and Reverend Jesse Jackson. This
Oh
could be
yeah.
politicians with pictures, regular people, little cousins, like everybody had a picture of Jesse Jackson. It just shows how much of a man of the community he was, of
Oh yeah.
how much he touched black folks.
Yeah, he was out there in them streets.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and everybody's got a memory, so it's not like just you saw him. There was an interaction. He interacted with the people. I got my own stories of interviewing him. I know you have your stories. Yeah.
We got some time. Share one if you could. Share one of your time, with Jesse Jackson.
Okay, so I've interviewed Reverend Jesse Jackson a number of times, and mainly at WGCI when I was working. And so he'd come in, and they let you know, okay, Jesse's coming in. You're going to do an interview. They tell you how much time you have. Back in the day, we used to have a lot of time. Used to be like we had 16 minutes, and it would start whittling down. But anyway, they tell you how much time you have, so you know how long you have to talk to the Reverend. All you had to do was like, "Good afternoon, Reverend Jackson. How you doing?" That was it.
Oh yeah.
The rest of the 9 minutes,
yes,
he just talked. You can ask a question. You couldn't get a comment in. He just took it and run. 9 minutes later, you were like, "Well, Reverend Jackson, thanks so much for stopping by today. It was great to have you here." He just talked it all up. Yeah. No pulling teeth needed. Yeah.
You are not lying. Rev was long when there used to be so many times I'd interact with Reverend Jesse Jackson, particularly when he would come on the morning show. There was one time where he, after maybe a year of him coming on every 2 weeks or so, maybe once a month, just to talk about maybe a push freedom breakfast or a voter registration or something happening to where he, he's doing his Reverend Jesse Jackson. So he invited me to come down to Push one day. Now, the cool thing about Operation Push on Saturdays, you never know who would be there. Some days it would be like a famous actor or singer, so it would be so many celebrities there. So there was one particular Saturday, there wasn't a celebrity there, but he'd have like an extra 20, 30 minutes or so after his service, just meeting with people, taking pictures, doing the Reverend Jesse Jackson thing. I got an opportunity with my friend Quaz to go in his office with he and his chief of staff, John Mitchell at the time, RIP to John. Got a chance to sit down, so I'm in awe. I'm looking around. Wow, where's Jesse Jackson's office? Look, where's Jesse Jackson's office? I'm seeing pictures of him and Bill Cosby, Jimmy Carter, Desmond Tutu, like all these major people. And I don't know what Snoop Dogg did in LA.
At the time.
It was some controversial that Snoop did, one of the many. And Jesse Jackson pulled me to the side and was like, "Man, this motherfucker Snoop Dogg. I got to go to LA and clean up this dog shit." It was at that moment right there where I was like, I just met the real Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
And that like set the tone. Like, every time he'd see me, he'd crack a joke, So we had like, it wasn't like we were buddy and I would go to his house and have dinner or something, but I had a really good rapport with Reverend. So man, RIP to this civil rights giant. He did you have no idea how much stuff he did for black people.
Yeah.
One of the most notable things he did was open up the arena for more blacks and more women and more people of color to be on TV, network on TV. I remember a story that was in the early 80s. Jesse was putting the pressure on these news stations. Yo, put some black people on, put some women on, put some people of color on. So that alone was just one of the accomplishments that Jesse Jackson was responsible for. So, man, RIP to Rev. His funeral, I'm sure, is going to be bananas. Attended by many world leaders and former presidents and actors and poets. And so RIP Reverend Jesse Jackson.
And love to the family and our broadcasting sister, Santita, his daughter. But yeah, big life, man. He left his mark.
Trump actually released a statement. It was actually pretty respectful of Trump. Trump was like, Jesse Jackson was a good man. He was a mess and we had our differences, but he was a good man. And just to see Trump speak good about somebody, that was interesting. But while you're talking this good stuff about Jesse, why not put flags at half staff to show that, you respect and honor this man who done so much for people.
Oh, I'm not going to do that.
What did Charlie Kirk do to get flags flown at half staff? Do we compare Jesse Jackson and Charlie Kirk and their accomplishments together? And one of them doesn't hold a candle to the other. So throughout all of this, Trump still showing that he's Trump, because that was easy. All you have to do is say, hey, can we show the man some love?
Dude, we lost another one. And I don't know if you were a fan of Grey's Anatomy. Actually, I do know you. You didn't watch Grey's Anatomy.
I definitely don't watch.
I don't even know how I said that.
Well, first, that show's been on 20 years, right? Does it still come on?
Let me tell you, not only does it still come on, but please, can it end already? I'm one of these people who has watched the show since the first episode. And I'm one of those that feels loyal to a show. So if I've been there from the beginning, I just got to ride out and watch every episode. So please, for the love of God, shut the show down so I can get my life back. But yes, it still airs. They did renew for the next season. They think it's going to be a shorter season. But the main character left. Like, let's go.
Who was the main character?
Gray, the Meredith Grey. Ellen Pompeo is the actress who plays the role, but she largely left the show. I think she comes back. She'll do an episode here or there, but full time, she was like deuces. She's still doing the voiceover. Yeah, I mean, why would you? You didn't watch the show. But yeah, now I'm held hostage to this damn show that just needs to wrap up. They've killed off people. They've had explosions at the hospital. They've done everything.
What more can you do?
I know. Setting that to the side, rest in peace, Eric Dane. So Eric Dane played Dr. Mark Sloan years ago on Grey's Anatomy. And that was when, if this is ever in the back of your mind, remember there was a McSteamy and a McDreamy, and there was these little nicknames for the hot dudes on the show.
And hearing about that.
Yeah. So he was Dr. McSteamy. And it happened all from when they showed his character for the first time. They showed him come out of the bathroom after he had taken a shower. All he had was a towel around his waist, and you could tell the shower was hot because all of his steam just wafted out, from behind him. Just like he was on stage, and how the smoke machine. So that's where the McSteamy came from.
I was definitely going to ask, why y'all call him? Does he look like somebody you like to get mixed steamy with? So
I mean, he's a good looking man, as the good looking men go. He was pretty hot. I like him older too, and he had the white hair and the gray. That's salt and pepper. Okay, but I remember he's not with us anymore.
He was in Bad Boys, right? The last Bad Boys. He was the villain, the main villain.
Yes, he was, and even more recently, than that. He's been in that TV series Euphoria. That's on HBO with who's the girl we love? Our girl Zendaya.
Okay.
With Zendaya. So so he's been working, and in 2025 he was diagnosed with ALS. So he announced that in April, and I mean it took him fast.
Had to, yeah.
He soon as he was diagnosed, he really launched into being an advocate and raising money for research and being on the board of this research initiative, raised about $1 billion in research in just this short amount of time. Just hoping to find a cure, just hoping to make strides and progress. So he died at 53. That was just announced. But let me tell you what I saw a clip of. There's this thing, and I think just Netflix is doing it. And it's called, is it Famous Last Words is what they're naming it? They're naming it something last words. So the first thing we saw was Jane Goodall. You remember the animal researcher she worked with, the chimps and what have you? She recorded an interview, a sit-down interview that she knew was not going to air until after she died. She was 90 years old, so we knew it was coming. But yeah, they were to hold that interview until after she died, and then they could release the interview. Well, apparently Eric Dane sat down and did one of those as well. So there's going to be an interview that is released that, again, at the time that he sat down and did the interview, the agreement was this will not see the light of day until after I die.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's
So this
pretty
is this
interesting.
released on Netflix already?
I haven't seen it on Netflix yet. I just was flipping through the phone and saw that it should be coming out. So I don't even know the date yet, but
Okay.
that's definitely something I'm going to watch because
Yeah, I'm
just
sure.
think about it. It's not even if you care about him. It's not even if you know this dude or not, or if you're an ALS advocate. I just think there's something so interesting and so compelling to somebody saying stuff knowing they're free. There's gotten to be no cancellation. There's no going to be no backlash. They're dead.
Right,
So,
right.
how free are you to say whatever the hell you
Yeah,
want about whoever and whatever
yeah.
because you out this piece?
That's an interesting concept in itself to record someone before they pass away and you won't be able to hear or see what they recorded until after they're dead. So wow, that concept itself is just pretty I wouldn't say cool. I'll call it unique, different.
I'm going to say genius.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, let's while we're seeing like we're money hungry here and opportunists and like, oh, the business end of it. But no, put yourself in the business side of it just for a hot second. I'm not being heartless here. Rest in peace, Eric Dane. But on the business end, genius, genius idea. Whoever thought of that idea for Netflix, you better get him in a raise. Or that woman, you better get him the money.
So are you familiar with Keefe D? Does that name sound familiar?
The name, yeah.
Okay, Keefe D is the guy who has been in custody for the death of Tupac. Now,
Right.
yeah, this is the guy that's in custody right now. His real name is Dwayne Davis. His street name is Keefe D. Now here's a guy. If you pay attention to like the underground market, all types of DVDs, VHS, tons of interviews with this guy bragging on
Mm.
how he was with the killers of Tupac, how he knows who killed Tupac. I was in the car with Tupac. I just saw an interview a few months back where he is basically happy about it. Yeah, I was in the car with him, and me and my boys, we walked right past the police when it happened. So he's in every interview that he's done, he's always just happy or gloating on the fact that yeah, I was there. I so shot Tupac, dumbass. So
Wasn't that in the Diddy doc?
probably it probably is. If I got to go back and watch the Diddy doc, but probably he got arrested for that, and now he's trying to say that he was being forced or he was being pressured to confess that he shot Tupac so feds can go ahead and wrap this almost 30-year case up. No, dumbass. You don't sit here and constantly gloat on the fact that you saw it happen. I was
Yeah.
in the car. I know who did it, et cetera, et cetera. And then come back and say that
Mm,
you were pressured.
mm.
No, I mean, they about to get you.
Oh, yeah.
So they've rescheduled the trial to August. So he's been in jail the past 2-3 years or so, and he awaits trial in August. I just think that you get the dumbass award for the day for gloating on the fact that you know who did it because his nephew Orlando something or other. Orlando is the guy that you always see Tupac punch in that famous video where he's running through the casino. Keefe
Oh.
Keefe D is this guy's uncle. Keefe D, you received the dumbass award for the year, not even for the day or the week, for the entire year. It's too late, fam. You in jail. They got you. And they gonna pin this on you. So
That's what it is. It's been too long. We need somebody like we need it. We need it. This is still hanging out there that everybody wants this
mhm.
pinned on somebody.
Yes.
So, hey, if you slip and you say you did it, you give them anything, yeah, you're going down. It's just been too long and everybody wants
You play stupid games, you win stupid prize.
it. Cardi B and Stefon Diggs are no more.
Now,
Stefon, whatever, however you pronounce his name. They
mhm.
broke up. He's the Patriots player. So apparently there was something that went down like at the Super Bowl, right after the Super Bowl. They unfollowed each other, they're done. This always makes me think when you leave your baby daddy, either when you still pregnant, like full pregnant, like I remember Denise Richards did with Charlie Sheen, or like right after she just had this baby. in November. Like, what has to go so monumentally wrong in a relationship for there to be baby about to join the world or baby just joined the world and you are like done so?
You know how they have Dumb and Dumber? She went from worse to worser. Like, okay, everybody knows Offset's a hoe. You know, you can look at him and just tell. Like, look at him. That's a hoe. That's a guy who has many chicks. And then you got Stefon Diggs. Here's a guy that has done an interview. They did an interview with all of his teammates. And they asked all of his teammates, who wouldn't you want to date your sister? Everybody unanimously said Stefon Diggs. Everybody said Diggs. So it's known that you are just not a good dude. And when I saw Cardi with the guy, I'm like, okay, well, and then you had a revenge baby. You had a revenge baby. She found out that Offset was cheating, et cetera, et cetera. So she goes and has another baby with a football player right after that happened. I'm really speechless as it relates to Cardi B. That just shows no matter how much money you make, you still do dumb shit. You know, you still do things with your friends. I'm a Cardi B fan, love her music. I love her personality. I love everything about Cardi B. I just think this was stupid.
So you think it's just cheating?
With dude? Yeah. Well, let's put the facts out about my man, Stefon Diggs. Super Bowl, right after the Patriots lost the Super Bowl, he had a court appearance for domestic violence or sex case. So he has a case pending for that. Already had a woman pregnant or had just gotten a woman pregnant when Cardi B got pregnant. So you walking in the door with instant competition right there. So everybody knew that this relationship wasn't going to last, or everybody knew that Stefon was going to be stepping on with other chicks. So, you know, again, here's a situation where it's like you just got to, Cardi, sit down somewhere. Just chill. Be a mother. Make your music. The last album was decent. You know, you got other stuff to worry about out here to be dealing with these. You make horrible decisions.
Well,
Cardi, I'm sorry, babe.
Apparently she is about to sit down for a hot second because she kind of mentioned while cameras around that when she's done with her tour, that she's about to, you know, jet off somewhere and get her butt implants taken out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And there's about a 3-month recovery. So if she is laying low for a little bit, supposedly that's what went down. Yeah.
She just makes horrible decisions with men and, you know, out here having revenge babies and whatnot. That makes you look even better. But shouts out to Cardi. I still love you.
Can a friendship survive a professional fallout? Mine didn't.
I don't think so. I think it will never be the same. Perhaps it could be, you know, you got a friendship with this person, y'all share the laughs and memories and that type of stuff. But I think it changes slightly.
Let me tell you, I think it's all about honesty. Because I've been in several situations, but 2 of them where the friend that knew it was going down, or even an acquaintance that knew it was going down, came to me to tell me, was like, oh, I know something that you're not supposed to know. But I'm going to tell you anyway, because I want somebody to tell me. Like, it's the right thing to do. And so I knew. And so that was super respectful. Thought it was great. Then I had a situation where somebody knew and they did not tell me. And, you know, then what the hell is that? Find out later they knew, find out how far ahead of time they knew and all that. That one, well, that was a problem. That was a huge problem. So in those other 2 situations where people told me, oh yeah, we knew it, and we're still friends. We're great friends. You're one of them.
Like this, tell them it was me.
You're one of them. You are one of them. I guess I can say who the other one is. Yeah. DJ Nikki. Nikki was another one. I worked with Nikki at in Chicago at Kiss FM 103.5 Kiss FM, and I worked with her at Power 92. But yeah, she was another one when she got a whiff of something going down.
Basically,
oh, I'm running straight to Alexx and telling her.
both of us knew that Alexx was going to get let go. And we told her before she was let go so she could prep for, you're about to get fired. It abruptly kills what you got going on in life and you have to adjust. So we had to let her know. Apparently, you had a situation where.
Yeah, like my former bestie knew ahead of time, and I knew it was coming because they're just things were not going well with the show. They were just like little details, and they kept coming to me to try to get him to change. They was paying me a lot of money. They were paying me a lot of money. And if it's not going well, I'm just like, oh, they can't keep paying me this money. It's just not going. So I knew, and I was trying to help the other person. Well, that bestie, when I found out, when it came down to me and they told me, oh, I was prepared already. I had gotten all my stuff together because I knew I'm no dummy. We've been in this business long enough. But they never said anything. And after it all went down, I sat there for a second and I said, there is never a time you are on a show together as a partnership and they don't tell your partner that it's coming, because they got to get their stuff together and they can't be cut off guard and they got to prepare. There's got to be new production. There's a whole lot that's got to go on because you got to regroup. And you mentally got to be there, the other person, once this other person's kicked out the door. So right after I went home and I was like, let me make this call. And I said, when did you know? When did they tell you? And they were very honest. And they said exactly how many days ago that they knew. And I said, oh, okay. I already knew that. So you made the decision not to tell me. You thought it was the right thing to do to not tell me. And they said, yes, they made the decision not to tell me. What am I do? What am I supposed to do with that?
What am I supposed to do? What? Yeah.
Let's cut off that friendship. These hoes ain't loyal. I mean, what am I supposed to
do? I wouldn't go in any business with my family or friends. It really depends on, and if we do, we have to put lawyers into it to where everything is everything. Like, it's not a situation where I'm trusting you on your word or you're trusting me. No, let's do this right. Let's bring lawyers in this. Let's have contracts, and then let's keep it moving. So now, if there's an issue, it's all contractual. It's nothing like, oh, you're my boy. You give me the money this date, and this date came around, and you didn't give me the money. Now here's another date, and no. So
yeah, I would get you a professional prenup.
Yeah. So I saw this meme, and I'm going to share it with you all right now. It said, what was the saddest last episode? Saddest last episode. Now you got the Fresh Prince there in the empty living room, just looking around. And then you got the last episode of Martin. Now remember, in that last season, Martin and Gina couldn't be in the same scene with each other because she had a sexual harassment lawsuit against Martin and Fox. So they were in different scenes. So in the last scene, you see Martin and he's writing something on the wall and it says "One Love" from Martin. Compare that to the emotion you got from looking at Will in this big empty living room. And so I'll ask this question. What was the saddest last episode between the Fresh Prince and Martin?
Oh, Fresh Prince for sure.
Okay. If I can remember correctly, on the last episode, I think everybody was moving out. Like Hillary and Ashley were moving to New York. I think Cardi was doing something, and then Will hadn't found a place, and then Uncle Phil at the last minute went and found Phil the place or whatever. So
that's what it is. We grew up with them and we saw them grow up. Those Martin characters were adults when that show started and when the show ended. But Ashley was little, her little headphones on. I mean, we saw them grow up, that progression, in an awkward phase to handsome and suave, or polished. And we saw Hillary, evolve. So that I think that is what makes the difference. When they're just adults to adults, you don't have that extra component that emotionally ties you.
Yeah, I agree. And with Martin, it was more so like you already knew in the background what was going on. So it's like, let's go ahead and end this sitcom. So I'd have to give it to Fresh Prince as well. That about wraps things up for episode 75 of Trey and Alexx. I'm Trey the Choklit Jok.
I'm Alexx Dupri.
YouTube.com/at Trey and Alexx. Make sure you subscribe, okay? We tell you this all the time. We are dope in real life, but we suck on YouTube. Matter of fact, let me show it to you right here. Wait, where is it? Matter of fact, let me show it to you right there. Bam! That's YouTube.com/at Trey and Alexx.
Deuces.